everyone, I am Bandit, and I'm here with Arthur E. Benjamin, the founder of American Dog Rescue, and you're watching For the Love of Dogs. Farrah White's on location today, so my co-host, who's a little tired, the very talented Bandit, will help us out. And we're both so excited to take you inside the new Spay Neuter Network's Hope mobile unit. Bonnie Hill, president of the Spay Neuter Network, is here to tell us where you can find it in a neighborhood near you. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, how are you?
It's great to have you again.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us about this unit. It's so exciting.
Well, it is very exciting. Actually, it's the first unit like this in North Texas. It's a 45-foot bus. So we have 38 cages for dogs, and we can fit another 15 to 20 cats on board, so we can do up to 55 to 60 surgeries at a time. And right now, our mission is to take that to low-income areas throughout Dallas-Fort Worth. So really, we're focusing in on the urban areas where we can make the biggest impact and hit a lot of people at one time and provide free services. So this specific unit is to provide free services to people in targeted zip codes. That's great. So you started dragging it around the city in June. How's it going? Yes, we did. It's going great. Actually, we've been full every time. Right now, we're running 2 to 3 times per week. Our goal by the end of next year is to have it running 5 times per week. And then our real goal is to have 2 on the streets by the end of 2014, the first part of 2015.
So there was a dog that actually inspired all of this. Can you tell us about that dog?
Yes. We actually have a community outreach program where we go door to door to low-income areas and we talk to people about sterilization and why it's important for their pets. And one of the main things that we find from people is that they really, in these low-income areas, when we do surveys, we find that the majority of them, 98% of them, have never contacted animal control. So they don't believe that the breeding that they're doing is contributing to the animal overpopulation problem.
Little do they know.
Yeah, I know. And so what we did is that thank goodness that the city of Fort Worth keeps very good statistics at their shelter, so they know exactly what breed types come into their shelter, where exactly they come from, if their owner surrendered, or if they're picked up from animal control. And we met a woman in Fort Worth who had a pit bull, blue and white, beautiful pit bull. And she bred her on a continuous basis. The dog's 6 years old. She has 2 litters every year, and she sells those puppies. And she was convinced that all of her puppies were going to really good homes in her neighborhood. She was the neighborhood pit bull breeder. But I was able to actually go to her and say, let me show you. There's 356 pit bull type dogs that are picked up within this 8-block radius that you live. I can't tell you if these are your pit bull puppies, but I can tell you we're oversaturated with pit bull puppies in your area. And I was also able to let her know how many of those dogs didn't make it out of the shelter, which was about 87% of them. So once she was armed with that information, she realized that what she was doing was not a good thing. So she was able to sterilize her female for free. And she came to our event afterwards, and we met the last puppy that her dog had, and it was just thrilling for everyone who was involved in it to be able to provide her with the information she needed to make that change.
And what was the name of her last puppy?
Her last puppy, I don't know. She sold the last puppy. It was a little white puppy with a little bit of blue in it, and it was a little girl. So I do know that they did sterilize the puppy, though. The new owners did at our event, so that was great.
So how different is this all to what used to be in the past?
Well, I mean, we used to, one of the things I've talked about on your show before is that the high-volume spay-neuter clinics, we have to do so many surgeries to function and stay alive, because we are a business, even though we're a nonprofit, so we have to do so much work. And what I found is that the nonprofits were basically just doing any surgeries, anything that walked through the door. And what I've kind of found in the last year and a half is that every surgery is not created equal. So when we went out to these low-income areas and we're doing free surgeries for these people, what we're doing is a generational change, because none of these people have ever sterilized. So they don't know anything about sterilization. Their parents didn't, their grandparents didn't, and surely their kids do not. So this is the first time that anybody in that family has ever made that decision. So we feel like we're making future changes versus just sterilizing people's animals for low costs that would normally sterilize anyway.
So there's a process behind this. How do you access it? How do you sign up? How do you get involved?
Well, we have lots of ways that people can get involved as far as volunteering, and I'll go over that. But our particular mission on this vehicle is how we operate is that we find targeted areas that are very low income, that do not have access to veterinary care. And we have a community outreach team and a group of volunteers who helps that team go out, and we go door to door. And we knock on people's doors and we talk to them about their pets and see how many pets they have, whether they're sterilized, whether they're vaccinated. And then we do a free vaccination event. So we offer free vaccinations, flea prevention, worming, and we talk about sterilization there. And that's when we pass out sterilization vouchers. The vouchers, we put a value on that, and that seems to really bring people, they go, oh, wow, it's worth $150. So we have people begging for our vouchers. Oh, I heard you guys are giving out vouchers. Not necessarily they know what it's for yet, but they want the voucher. And then we bring the mobile clinic in after that. So it's a process. And then what we do is after that event, we do the sterilizations. If anybody doesn't show up for the sterilizations, we still have their information. So we can follow up with them. They have a voucher and talk with them about why didn't you come? What can we do to help you follow through?
Well, it's obviously a good thing for the overpopulation or the control of population of dogs and cats in the Dallas area. But Bandit's got his legs crossed. Can you talk to how hard it is on? I mean, he has been neutered, but how hard is it on the dogs? I mean, let's share it with the audience because people think about it and they sort of cringe at the thought.
They do a little bit, and I think that's because we love our pets so much, and I think that we really put our human feelings into an animal, and they still are an animal, and they do not value their reproductive organs as much as we do. In fact, breeding your female over and over is stressful on their system. It would just be like if you could have 10 babies 2 to 3 times a year would not be healthy for you.
Bandit doesn't want to think about it.
And on the little boys, how I kind of tell them is that, listen, it's just one less thing that they have to keep clean. They really don't care about it. What it does is it gives them the opportunity to actually spend and mentally spend time with you versus trying to figure out where the next female is. It's a simple procedure. As long as the pet is healthy before surgery, it's quick and it's simple, and the dogs return to their normal selves within 24 hours.
Let's talk specifically about this mobile unit. We've had access to it, and can you give us a little tour?
Sure. Well, when you first walk in, what we see to the right hand is our area where we do all of our billing and check-in. So it's completely outfitted with a computer, printer, everything so that we can bill. And then the next most important thing is our restroom, because it is a self-contained vehicle. So we have a restroom there for the staff, because generally what we do is we arrive at 7:30 in the morning and we're done by 2:30. So they need to have access to a restroom. Then we have the 38 cages for dogs, and then we have a space up on the top for our cats. We do have a wet prep table so that we can empty bladders and prep our animals for surgery just like we would at our full-service clinic in Crandall. We also have a microwave and a refrigerator. Our microwaves so that we can heat up towels to keep our animals warm after surgery, because just like with humans, their temperature drops and we want to make sure that they stay warm. All of our vaccines need to be refrigerated. And in the very back, we have our 2 surgery tables, and then we also have 2 anesthesia machines so we can run 2 tables at the same time, which helps our surgeries go much faster than having to wait for an animal to get onto the table for the veterinarians. It's run with 2 technicians and 1 biller, and it's very efficient. It's not any more expensive for us to run this vehicle than it is for us to do a surgery in-house at our clinic in Crandall.
How long does a male being neutered take?
Well, a male dog takes probably longer to prep than it does to do the neuter. The neuter is probably about 5 to 6 minutes to neuter the dog.
And in a female, it's longer.
In a female, it is a longer. If it's a large female dog, it may take up to 20 minutes, but our small female dogs are still really anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes for the surgery.
That's an amazing record.
Yes, it is. And our female cats are about 3.5 minutes.
So if you want to learn more about the Spay Neuter Network or where you can find the Hope Mobile Clinic, go to spayneuternet.org. There's still a lot more to come on today's show. Next up, some helpful tips on how to get your dogs through the Thanksgiving holiday without fattening them up, plus some of the upcoming pet-friendly events for the holiday season. So Bandit says, stay with us!
We have the capacity to hold 30 dogs and 20 cats. The cats stay here, the dogs stay in the silver cages. This is the area where we prep the animals for surgery. They're sedated here, and then they're brought into the surgery suite. So this is our surgery suite.
And this is where the doctor can perform 2 operations at one time?
The doctor has an animal on each table, and she's able to go back and forth. That's why we're able to do the number that we do per day. Everything that she needs is set up in here. There's our oxygen generator and our anesthesia machines.
So how many animals can we do in a day?
We usually do 40 on the bus. So in our clinic, we have a capacity to do up to 60, but here we're able to house and perform 40 surgeries.
And how long do they recover in the cages?
Recovery, they're usually up pretty quick after surgery. It's probably about 15 minutes that it takes them to recover. They recover with warm water bottles to keep them warm. Their trach tubes are removed as soon as they start to cough, and they're watched by the technicians that are out there while they're recovering.
Well, this is a really amazing invention, so to speak, and it's going to make a big difference for the dogs and cats of northern Texas. So thank you.
Thank you.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I am a pet lover first.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Welcome back. We're less than a week away from Thanksgiving, tick, 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 and Christmas is also getting closer and closer. And there are many, many pet-friendly events taking place here in North Texas and in Dallas. Ivani Barra with DallasDogLife.com is back with us with some pet-friendly events coming up, plus how you can take care of your dog and keep it safe during the holiday season. Welcome back.
Nice to be back.
It's great to have you here again. How did you and Chewy survive Halloween?
We did pretty well. Chewy's a good sport. He's good at dressing up and being very tolerant. So he's kind of the greeter to the trick-or-treaters. They did pretty well.
He didn't get to keep any of the candy,
No candy for Chewy.
Would you remind us what we can find on DallasDogLife.com?
All kinds of information. If you're a dog owner in Dallas or Fort Worth or any other surrounding areas, you need to check out DallasDogLife.com. There are tips on dog care. There's a listing of dog-friendly events. There's a business directory of all kinds of services and products that you can find for your pet, as well as local news and information, and a dog of the week if you want to submit your dog. So,
wow,
all kinds of information.
Does it amaze even you how many dog-friendly events exist in this city?
Yes, and this is dog season. I told somebody the other day, this is like tax season for accountants. This is definitely dog season for dog people. There's tons of information and events going on. The cool weather really, really helps. So we're done with the hot summer, and there's tons of stuff to do with your pets outside. And October, November, December is really, really popular.
So features on the site would be?
We have featured reviews for dog businesses. We have a calendar of events that features festivals, training classes that are open to the public, seminars like pet first aid and CPR. There's several coming up, and fundraisers where some are human only and some are dog friendly, for different rescues around DFW. And there's also, like I said, Dog of the Week. There's information about local ordinances, all kinds of features.
Well, as I mentioned, Thanksgiving's coming up, and I understand that you put Bandit together with Chewy, and they came up with some helpful tips on how to make sure the dogs don't get sick over the turkey.
Right.
So, let's go through those tips. Okay. Chewy, are you ready? Speak up.
Ready?
Speak loud.
Come on.
Number 1.
Gotta be ready.
Don't overfeed your dog on the holiday or they'll get chubby like me.
and like a few other of our dog friends, I actually do have a dog that's having to watch his weight, but yes, try not to make a plate for yourself and then make an identical plate for your dog. There's all kinds of things, foods that are safe for your dog to eat, just don't overdo it.
What are the key unsafe things on Thanksgiving?
Raisins, there's a lot of raisins.
Grapes?
And grapes, yes, that are in a lot of the dressings and in the side items. Garlic is okay in very small quantities, but people really season with garlic in their food on Thanksgiving. So let's avoid any of the garlic mashed potatoes, things like that. Of course, chocolate. In the fat, the fatty skin of the turkey really causes stomach upset. So if you're going to feed your dog turkey, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that it's a piece that's not seasoned, or some of the inside parts.
Do
just a little bit.
Do they fall asleep from turkey like we?
Yes, they do. But I think that's just anyway.
Okay, so no cooked turkey bones.
Correct. A lot of people think this is a good idea to give their dogs turkey bones or just meat bones on Thanksgiving, but turkey bones are especially brittle and can break during when they're cooked. And the splintery part can really damage a dog's throat, and coming out is no fun either. So make sure to not give your dog their wishbones,
no cooked chicken bones.
No chicken bones.
Okay, shouldn't even give them those bones raw.
Right.
They splinter.
Yeah, they splinter.
Okay, no uncooked bread dough. Now that's new to me.
Yes, uncooked bread dough has a tendency to rise in warm places, and it can expand in your dog's stomach, and it can be very, very dangerous very quickly. And so you need to make sure, Bandit, that you don't have, if somebody's baking in your house, they need to keep everything, all of the ingredients, the yeast, all of the dough away from the dog.
But I want to look like Jabba the Hutt.
It's not going to be fun. Don't do it.
Okay. Avoid holiday spices and foods that contain things like sage, onions, raisins.
Correct.
Why the spices and the onions? We know the raisins are...
Onions have a chemical, and so does sage, that can be very upsetting to their digestive systems. And again, in very small quantities, it wouldn't be harmful, but you don't want to take that risk, especially because people are doing a lot of cooking, especially if they have sage that's in a container that spills or might spill on the floor. Just be very, very careful. Keep the dogs away from the kitchen, as hard as that is. When you're cooking with any of these ingredients.
And finally, exercise your dog before the company gets there.
I always say a tired dog is a good dog. So if you have a chance, there's a turkey trot going on in Dallas that morning. For those of you that are going to be participating in turkey trot that morning, you should have a nice tired dog for your friends and family to come over that afternoon.
So dress your dog up like a turkey and trot it around the city.
That'd be great.
Okay, you've got upcoming events coming up, like Sunday, November 24th. You want to talk about those? Or you want me to run them off for you?
That would be great.
Okay, Sunday, November 24th, the AKC Herding Instinct and Canine Good Citizen tests.
Yes, this is an event for dogs and individuals who might be interested in learning more about the Canine Good Citizen exam. If your dog has a good temperament, this is a great way for them to get certified as such, and it really, really helps if you want to go into further training. And the herding would be good if you have a dog that likes to herd a sheepdog or collie or border collie or anything like that. It's a great event for a dog that's a working dog.
I heard you. So I'm going to run off the others.
Sure.
Saturday, December 7th, the 2013 Holiday Pet Expo at Fair Park. Saturday, December 7th again, home for the holidays at the Canine Country Club.
Yes, both of those are really, really good. The Dallas Pet Expo holiday version is huge. It's at Dallas Fair Park. There's going to be vendors of all kinds of photographers, trainers, food, treats, lots of rescue groups that'll be there with adoptable dogs. It's dog friendly as long as your dog has their vaccinations, and it's free.
So again, if you want to visit Dallas Dog Life, go to dallasdoglife.com for the original, and visit Yvonne on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Yes. Why don't you get a few more? Just type in Dallas Dog Life. Yes. We'll be right back with a sweet story of how dogs are helping children with Asperger's syndrome. Stay tuned.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family. But for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
We all know the power dogs have over people. Their unconditional love can help us get through the toughest of times. Dogs can also help children struggling with social skills. Steve Hartman of CBS News introduces us to Parker, a young boy with Asperger's syndrome, and his service dog Candy, who's made a huge difference in the world for him. Watch this.
11-year-old Parker Weisar is just about the most well-behaved kid you'll ever meet. Now.
Who was this little boy before?
This little boy was just crazy. Wild, outrageous.
You were?
Yes.
Parker has a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome, and one of the symptoms can be violent outbursts.
Caution, it is extremely hot.
Couldn't deal with it.
We would have incidences in the classroom where he would kind of clear off the bookshelves.
Parker's parents, Wendy and Mark, say they tried everything. But not until recently did they find something that really seemed to fix it.
Oh boy.
Almost instantly.
Some things changed right away, and it was a little overwhelming. We'd look at each other and go, oh my goodness.
What worked for them was Candy. That's the dog's name, Candy. She's a certified assistance dog whose job basically is just to be with him, to stick right there by his side, 24/7.
She helps me. She calms me down. She lets me know that she's there when I'm about to have a meltdown.
They got the dog about a year ago, and Parker hasn't had an outburst since. And that's just half the story. Kids with autism have a lot of other issues too. And for those, there's this: dog agility.
Was that hard to learn at first?
Yes, really extremely tough.
Although generally the domain of middle-aged women, Parker's mom says the sport is also great autism therapy.
Andy and Parker, you're next.
You're doing speech therapy. You've got to get commands out
Can you go jump?
while you're running.
Go jump.
And you have to keep your body in control when you don't have good motor movement.
You also have to learn how to handle disappointment.
Come!
Especially with this dog.
What in the world is with you?
She's yet to actually finish a course, but Parker doesn't seem to mind.
Who do you think would benefit from having a dog like Candy around?
Anybody who has autism, anybody in the world would be just benefit from it. She's just like a healing dog.
Healing for Parker. The idea is still new and unproven. But to this kid, on this day especially, there was no doubt his dog had some kind of magic. Remember how I said Candy never completed a course before? Well, during the last race, something got into that girl. Did every through, made every over. An absolutely flawless performance.
Over!
Candy not only finished for the first time, she actually finished first.
First place!
And that's an autistic outburst they can live with. Steve Hartman, CBS News, Phoenix.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks to Bonnie Hill and Ivan Ibarra for being our special guests today. And remember to keep up with Bandit and me on For the Love of Dogs online at AmericanDogRescue.org. That's AmericanDogRescue.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For all of us here at For the Love of Dogs, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.